welcome to the Knitting Project. My name is Sharon and I'm coming to you from Surrey in the UK, where I live with my family and my animals, one of which is just there. I have a cat who has decided to join us today. So any crashing and banging in the background, I'm really sorry. Didn't realise she was there until after I pressed record. I'm going to leave her for the moment. If she becomes really annoying, I might move her. It's Smudge. This is episode 177 and today is the 1st of Feb 2025. Welcome if you are a new viewer. Welcome back if you're a returning viewer. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is my podcast all about what I've got up to this week crafting wise, and there isn't that much. So whereas last week I had loads because I was sick, I felt better this week, thankfully, and I had a very sociable week for me. I don't normally do sociable, but I ended up out 4 of the 5 nights this week, which is very unusual. Having said that, leads neatly into my little note, which is I'm not sure whether there will be a podcast next week because it's a show week. So Meg is playing Maureen in Rent, and her run starts on Wednesday, and it is a 2-week run, which is first time we've had one of those, so that's going to be interesting. And I'm going to all the performances. I have tickets for them all, and I need to see whether I'm going to have time next weekend to record. I think I will, because the performances are in the evening, so it's next Saturday morning. I should have time to record, but it will largely depend on what else I need to get done, because real life goes on even though it's a show week, and we have got a show week the following week. Luckily, when I say show week, it's not actually a week. The run is Wednesday to Saturday, so it's not every night. I'm also, of course, won't get as much crafting done. Looking forward to that though. That's exciting. This has been seems to have been a long time coming, but has come also suddenly it's here. A bit like February, eh? Aren't we glad that January is finally finished? I looked at it last week and it was just like, there's like a whole other week of January yet. So thankfully we are finally in February. Just drinking a coffee. Right, so I show you what I have got sorted. I've got some month end. There we go. Stats I wanted to run by you, and I have got a little bit of crafting. So let's dive into my box. I'm not going to do this in any particular order because it's all just sitting here. So the first one out is in my Bags by Awesome Granny. Yep, caravan bag. And this is my Woolly Goodness blanket. So I'm doing a crochet giant granny square, which I love. I love this blanket so much. It's just so pretty. So pretty. And if you watched my snippet this week, which was my cozy memory blanket, how I do my squares, you will see that I used the yarn for this for that demo, and that is it there. That's it gone into my blanket. Oh, it's just so pretty. It really is. I love this. It's just, yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing what it looks like with all of the advent in. So this is mini 3 having gone in, and it's a nice little size now. Kind of keeps part of my lap warm while I'm working on it. And I'm using a little 3.5mm, I think, could be 4, but I think it's 3.5mm crochet hook. And oh God, I love the little design. It's really, actually, this is really nice to hold, and it's kind of got shiny from use, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I'm on mini 3 of this. Oh, so exciting, and I love it so much. So it's just literally clusters of grannies all the way around. Just a giant granny square. Couldn't get simpler. But I absolutely adore it. I just see the cat's moving. Are you coming through? Or are you going to sit down? She's sitting down. But yeah. So that's that one. I worked on that this week. And then what's next? This one. Actually, probably should be the other way around, but it doesn't matter. In this lovely bag. I don't know whose bag this is. There's no maker's name on it, but it's a very pretty bag, and it's one of the first project bags I bought. It's quite old, and this has got my Sweet Shop blanket in it. Now, the Sweet Shop blanket is a pattern by Laura Penrose, and is designed to hold 4-ply double, but I've decided not to do that. I'm just holding it single, so it's a lighter weight, but it does mean I get more out of my minis. So this is how it's looking so far. So the one with the Christmas pudding was square number 1. The one with the croissant was square number 2, and that's the square I've just done. And what I'm doing is, with Laura's design, each of the plainer sides, this top side here, is plain on her, is undyed yarn on her blanket. But what I'm doing is trying to match it in with a mini from my stash that's a similar colour. So I chose this sort of lavender purple to go with this mini, and then this light pink to go with that one, and then that dark sort of burnt orange to go with that one to pick up the burnt orange. So there's burnt orange in that square, and we've got the burnt orange, and then there's some light pink in there, so we've got the light pink, and then there's some purple in there, so we've gone with the purple. And I'm really pleased with it. I'm really pleased with how this is looking. So I'll be doing the middle square of this. That's kind of cool. I haven't seen it like that. So yeah, I'll be doing that square next, which will be mini number 4. And this is from my Woolly Mama Advent, which was the first year I've had the Woolly Mama Advent. I'd be very tempted to have that again. I've really enjoyed it. So that's how it's looking so far. It'll be very satisfying to put that next square in. I'm looking forward to that. And each time I pick up these projects, I want to work just on those projects. I'm doing these are 3mm needles. And these are just some Knit Pro. Just the basic Knit Pros. Can't remember what they're called, but love them. Perfect for this, just a little pair of needles. And I do, however, need to remove my Christmas pudding now and put that as something else, because I really do need to get all the Christmas stuff put away. I'm still using Christmas mugs at the moment. I need to get my Christmas mugs put away. So much I need to do, and I just haven't got around to doing. So that's my Sweet Shop blanket. Love that. Then we're going into, I want to talk about that one last. So next up was my West Green Loft yarn socks, and this is managed to make an appearance 2 weeks in a row on the podcast, which I'm not quite sure how it's done that, but it did. And so it was last week, because I did mini number 2, and then I've gone through all the rotation enough that this week it's got in mini number 3. And these are turning out really prettily. It'll be interesting to see. So when you're opening them, you don't really get the full effect of what they look like together, unless you take them all out and take photos, and I didn't do that. But I am getting nice surprises, and this is how this one's looking. So that was mini number 1, that's mini number 2, and that's mini number 3. And I love how these colours are playing together. They look so pretty. So this is West Green Loft Yarns. This was a 10 gram mini advent. And I'm making Scrappy socks. So I'm making them concurrently. So I've done 3 on that one, and I've done 3 on that one. And then when I run out of sock, that wasn't a very good way of putting that. When I finished the sock, if I haven't run out of minis, I can start again, and I've got some leftovers. In fact, I've got some quite significant leftovers. We're going to focus on that, please. There we go. So I will be able to okay, we don't want to focus on that at all. I'll be able to add some of this into it as well. Obviously it won't be as big as a 10-gram mini, but I have quite a lot left over. So I might make a second pair of Scrappy socks if it doesn't take the full 24, which I don't think it will, because I'm doing 8 rounds of, in fact I think it will be about half. Theory being, I'm doing 8 rounds of knit stitches in these Scrappies for each section. It's a 60 stitch count. I did the same on my Advent socks, and each stripe of that was 4. So my theory is this is double the size, so therefore theoretically it should take 12, but we will see. If it's not quite there, then well, the toe can be kind of a stripy pink toe. We will see. But I'm hoping I might get 2 pairs of socks out of this, which is exciting. Each time I pick up one of these projects, it's all I want to work on. So every time I'm almost like, oh, I'm just going to carry on with this one and get this one done. But number one, that'd be quite a boring podcast because all I'll have is one object. But also, I then, when I think about what's going to come next, I'm like, oh, actually, I really want to work on that. So in that respect, it's really good fun because it doesn't matter what I'm knitting, I'm really enjoying it. And that's cool. I think that's probably what it should all be about. So that is a big tangle of needles. I use 2 circular needles, and I'm using Chalgu 2.5mm needles. And hitting myself in the face with them, apparently. And that is living in my Sherry Iris bluebell bag. She's got this beautiful bluebell embroidered on the front. And it's made of linen. It's lovely. I love that bag. Let's get rid of the really sharp needle that's sticking out the top, shall we? What else is next? Talking about that last. So, oh, the only thing I've got left now is my cozy memory blanket. It's going to be a really quick podcast this week, isn't it? I mean, it isn't. It's going to be a really quick knitting section. So again, I'm using 2.5mm, and these are just licky needles. And this is my cozy memory blanket, which, if you haven't seen, I have a snippet up, which is how I knit my squares for this. And since last week, we have got West Green Loft Yarns, Woolly Goodness, Woolly Mama, and a random mini from my stash, which I think was a West Green Loft Yarns, but not certain. So that's how it's looking so far. I'm really pleased I'm keeping up with this. However, having said that, I'm not, because I haven't put in the next thing I'm going to talk about, but that's because it's a club. I didn't want to put it in here this week. I probably will put it in next week, though. I'll explain that in a moment. But yeah, that's so it's a little mini blanket at the moment. It's really cute. And like I said, if you want to see how I do my squares, there is a snippet that went up on Wednesday that says Cozy Memory Blanket. And I give you all my tips and tricks that I use to make this. So yeah, if you did watch it, where I say about knitting in my ends, if you look at it from over here, you really cannot see where those ends have been knitted in. So it works quite well. But yeah, just to sort of show you from a distance. Love that. I do love a cozy memory blanket. There's something very satisfying about knitting cozy memory blanket squares. Right, so that brings me on to my next project, which is living in another Sherry Iris little linen bag with embroidery. This one's a daisy bag. Okay, if you have not had your secret Santa sock club from Les Family Yarn for February, look away, because I've got mine and I've started knitting with it. I'm not going to do any description on this other than the construction of the sock, because just in case anybody is waiting for theirs. So look away now. I will tell you when you can look back, but I'm just going to show it to you for this week and say kind of how far I've got. So that's the mini. That's the main skein. Need to talk to you about my ball winder at some point, but this is not the segment for that. So yeah, that's the main skein. And I've just gone with a plain shorty this time, just because I want to whiz through this a little bit, because I've got other projects I need to get on with. So we've just gone for a plain shorty, but that's how it's looking. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I want to say something which I can't because it's a description. But I love it a lot. And I will talk more about it next week to give people a chance to get theirs and have a look at it. But yeah, really happy with that. Again, 60 stitch count on 2 Chalgu circulars. Oh, and I didn't have a stitch marker to hand when I was doing my decreases, so I grabbed, this came in my West Greenloft jar, in my Woody Goodness Advent. I just grabbed it. So that, yeah, that's definitely got a bit of a Christmas on it. I need to change it over. But yeah, right, let me put that away, and then there's no danger of you seeing it. Here we go. Hubby's in the kitchen now, so wait for the coffee machine to go on. At least we haven't had the leaf blower yet this week. That's a result. Right, still keep looking away because I haven't quite wrangled it back in its bag. Okay, now you can look back. So that's living in there. As I said, I'll talk more about that next week, when give people a chance to open theirs, etc. Right, so next up, I didn't do my quilt. Yes, part of it is nerves about cutting it. Emma, if you're watching, thank you so much for your encouragement below my video last week. I had a slight fangirl moment. Then I had panic that you're watching. And then I was like, well, that's really cool. I am going to hopefully have a go at it. That's on my agenda to do tomorrow. It was on my agenda to do last Sunday, but my Sunday got hijacked and I didn't get a chance to do it. So I want to be able to concentrate on it. Now, I'm going to do my quilt tomorrow. So hopefully you'll see that next week, because February's will be out because it's February. But I did manage to do a tiny bit of embroidery, but again, not much. I certainly didn't do my 7 little bits. So the new bits on this week is I did some more French knots in white, because where I'd finished, if you remember last week, where I'd finished off my little gingerbread man, I had some white left in the needle, so I just did some more French knots to finish that up. And then I moved on to doing the sweet, which is there. And is that in focus? I'm really hoping that's in focus. And then because I'd got the pink in, I decided just to carry on doing the sweets. So I did that one, that one, that one, that one, and I'm in the middle of that one. That's why I've still got a needle down there. So I've got some sweets going on around the edge. So I guess if we call the French knots 1, I did 2, 3, 4, 5 and a bit. So I didn't do it daily. I was just doing this yesterday when I had 5 minutes. So that didn't turn out as I wanted it to this week, but let's see what we can do next week. I'm really pleased with it though. It's coming on really well. Really is. I'm loving it. As I said, I think I'm going to make this into a door decoration to hang on, like a door wreath. I think I'm going to get a do it like a Christmas, or just do a plain. I'm thinking. Okay, I'll get back to you on that. I'm going to do a wrapped hoop, but I was thinking I'll just do a plain colour. Oh, hold on, we've got an interruption. Just a minute. Just come in and say hi quickly to the podcast.
Hello, podcast.
I will. Sorry about that. So, yeah, I think I was going to do like a white ribbon around it, but then I was thinking, well, my kitchen theme is red and white. So if it's going to go on a kitchen door, I'd like it to be red and white around it. So what I might do is get this finished and then wrap it nearer Christmas when I know what door I'm putting it on. I think that might work better. But yeah. Really pleased with that. Really pleased with it. Yeah, I think it looked cute as a door hanging. I've got one I want to use that to make into a cushion, but I haven't embroidered that yet. So that is living in a So Sweet Violet sewing bag, project bag. Right, I can hear my husband now as well, so I'm really sorry for the background noise, but that is the joys of podcasting on a Saturday because all my family are around, but I have no choice now because there's no way I can do it during the week anymore. So this is a habit tracker that my lovely friend Jules from So Sweet Violet gave to me as part of my swap for Christmas. I decided I wanted to make it a craft tracker, so I've changed it off. And this is my January results. I've just quickly done my results this morning. And so this has got my homespun house socks, dotted rays, Shosha scrap mitts, Land of Sweets cow, heart and cow, sweet shop blankets, crochet blanket, which is Holy Goodness crochet blanket, West Green Loft yarns, Scrappy socks, Lay Family yarn, Christmas socks, quilt, dishcloth, embroidery, spin, cozy memory blanket, and live video. So that's all the stats. So basically I colour in a square. So that's all of the projects down the side. And I colour in a square if I worked on it that day. So that's what my kind of crafting month looks like. And then it's got notes and goals. And for some reason, I wrote the notes under the goals and the goals under the notes, because apparently that's a thing. So my goals were embroider every day, quilt every day, one dishcloth a month, one Santa socks a month, one Santa socks pairs a month, one pair of Santa socks a month, a Wednesday video every week, a Saturday video every week, and the podcast. So I did a little bit of a count up along the side there. And I've got my most work. So my top project was my cozy memory blanket, followed closely by the Lay Family yarn socks. Then it was embroidery, live video, quilt, mitts, sweet shop, homespun house socks, dotted rays, heart and cow, West Green Loft yarns, Woolly Goodness blanket, West Green Loft yarn socks, Land of Sweets cow, dishcloth, and spin. So my top project was my cozy memory blanket. My finished objects for this month were my January Santa socks and my January dishcloth, and I managed to hit the goal of podcasting every Sunday, having a podcast up every Sunday. So Wednesday, I think I'd got 2 Wednesday videos up out of a possible one. Oh yeah, the first was a Wednesday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got 2 out of 5 up. I did not get any Saturdays up at all, which I'm kind of disappointed about. I would like that not to be the case next month. I want to try and put up a video. I was just thinking what I might do for today's video, because today is Saturday. I might actually set up February's one of these and show you how I set it up, because I think that might be quite good fun. So yeah, that's my tracker, and I really enjoy looking back on this. It's quite a big size, so I'm gonna possibly, I'm either going to put it into an A4 fold, ring binder, but do it so it sticks out, or try and find a ring binder that will be big enough. I don't know if it's A3. I think it's slightly smaller than A3, but slightly bigger than A4. Somewhere in the middle. But it'd be nice to keep, you know, keep a record of what I did each month. I think that could be quite fun. I love this tracker. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where it's from, but it's a brilliant tracker. Let's see if that's another thing that I keep up each month. Maybe I should make the tracker part of the goal. Self-fulfilling prophecy, is that not? Because I'm very good about doing these things in January, February and March, and then the summer hits and it's not quite so good. But that was interesting. It was interesting doing the statistics this morning. I enjoyed that. I love doing statistics. Right, I have got one piece of happy mail, which is also a club. So if you are doing the Beehive Season Spell Yarn Club for January, this is the Beehive Yarns one, you need to look away, because this is going to be a massive spoiler. So I've done a Beehive Yarn Club when I first podcast way back in whenever it was, 2018. I was doing a Beehive Yarn Club, so it's kind of come back again. I'm also doing Woolly Goodness. I'm doing the Lay Family Yarn Santa Sock, the Woolly Goodness. She's doing movie minis, and I'm doing, I think I'm doing the Giddy Yarns one. I thought maybe I bought like a few months together, but I'm not sure because I can't find any record of it. So if that turns up, fabulous. If it doesn't, I'll buy the next lot. Okay, so this is the Beehive Yarns Club. If you haven't got yours and you don't want to be spoiled, look away. This is the inspiration picture. And I've got the two minis, so the two 20 gram minis, and it's just really pretty. Isn't that lovely? Kind of. But yeah, really, really pretty. Do I know what I'm doing with these? No, of course I don't. I have no clue what I'm going to do with these, if I'm honest. They're very pretty though, very pretty. So that's it. You can look back now. I think next year, no, I said yeah, next year. Before I buy clubs, I need to work out what I'm going to make with them. I'm still getting my Spectrum Fibre Club this year. I have an idea what I want to make with those. I just haven't done anything about doing it yet. I've got them all there. I'll keep looking over there because they're all in a basket. But I think, is it for me this week. I don't think I've got anything else to show you. I might, as I said, might do the tracker overhead for today's video, because I think that could be quite good fun. I need to knit my dishcloths, so I need to find my project bag that's got my dishcloth stuff in it, because that would be good, because today's the 1st. I'd like to get that knit. I need to carry on with those Lay Family Yarn socks and set up all my goals for next month and see how we get on with that. I'm going to kind of have a look to see whether the next quilting block is out, because it's the 1st. See whether that's around, because I want to get that. Yeah, right. I think that's me done now. So I hope you're all okay wherever you are. Take care, and I will see you next week.